And we are back with the Week in Pop Culture, Gaming, Community, and Odd News and Review. This is, of course, Tony, the Stark of Iron, running the channel. Trust us with your entertainment and your information. We have joining us today our wonderful co-panel of pop culture pundits that are about ready to get into the meat and potatoes of the veritable, let's just call it the poop sandwich that we have spread out before them. Up first, of course, is the head of the network, the dignified cartoon gentleman. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, I'm doing very well, Tony. It's always great to be on this Saturday show, and fingers crossed everyone will have a fantastic time as Theta tries to invade my talking points. I see you, Theta. You know, my best friends, Atreus and Kata, who are to the left and right of me, what look like my hair, they'll come after you. They will. They'll get you. But thank you for having me, Tony.
You bet, sir. Happy to have you here. Theta of the Grid, number one, who may or may not be broadcasting from the Quinjet. How is life treating you? And if you are indeed up at the Mile High Club, can you tell us the traffic?
Can y'all hear me?
We are hearing you loud and clear from the Quinjet above New York. How's the traffic down there today, sir?
Everybody, the traffic, there is a crash on the 405. If you would just go to the exit on McCullough, you will be able to go to the V store and arrive at your destination. Thank you very much for flying Theta Airlines.
We're happy to have you here, and of course, we will be getting the chiming in from the aircraft as our article coverage goes along. The great Scooby Pup 01. I just got through producing as well as co-hosting the show prior to this one, my dear. How are you doing tonight, sweetheart?
I am doing absolutely well tonight, honey. I would love to say that StreamYard sucks. You nailed my show. I hate them. Have a great show, Tony.
Yep, the Duckyard, I will have to show you exactly how to use it to where you're not simulcasting to multiple platforms on YouTube, because that is just utterly inefficient and moot. Speaking of somebody who is a fellow man of many talents, a scientist, either arguably mad or arguably insane, or, just overly creative. Director Arcater of Arcater Labs, how are you doing today, sir? And welcome to tonight's program as our special guest.
Thank you for having me on, Tony. It's really quite long. It's been such a long time since I properly guessed that, well, I just hope I remember how it works.
I think you're going to do absolutely fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the news in review. But first, let's go ahead and welcome our motley assembly of post-apocalyptic survivors to this New York broadcast. We have Alice Lovely, who's enjoying the Alice Store Has-Been Hotel content. We have more coming down the pipeline, as well as Vox coming back. At least he'll have a head in there somewhere. So do keep out for that. Roadkill 101 says, I was paid by the company Blue Chew to be here, so I guess here we are. Well, it could be the taste of Charleston Chew.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tony, but Blue Chew is a Viagra product.
Is that the reason why I'm flying half-mast?
Yes. My.
Hail to the great Jason Love, who says, have to watch on the rewind. Mentats, anyone? Absolutely. Mentats here. Depends on if you're going to Atrakis or Atarkus, or I can't remember the name of the bloody Doom planet.
Arrakis.
Arrakis, yes. I thought, see, you said Atreus and it threw me off. I'm going to put this on you. See, ladies and gentlemen, we like to call that in the business a save. He says, stand by, Tony. I have some support incoming soon. We could definitely use it, as we did take a little bit of a reprieve from streaming. And we use all the support we can get. Hail to the great AJ Starhiker. It is good to see you, sweetheart. And, of course, all super chats and donations will be read in specific super chat segments in between articles to maintain flow of the show and properly timestamp it. Hail to the great Slay Every Game. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. Hopefully life is treating you well. Hail to Kaz2671, a first-timer here. It is a pleasure to have you here. We hope that you enjoy our non-biased look at some of the things that are happening in pop culture as well as gaming and abroad, because around here we want to make sure that everybody has a say, because it's the We Say So Corporation or Voxtech or any one of those other corrupt companies. Hail to Fox Hills. It's good to see you again, sir. Hail to Lombardi 1969. Yes, this is my third stream today. Midnight City. Hey, there you go. We got the Midnight City. Said, did someone say scientist? Hello, Ledoux. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my official iconographic artist, if I could talk today, as well as logo maker and all around going to be the one behind the merchandise. Hail! Speaking of an old name, we got the great Stephen Walton of the Archives fame. It's a pleasure to see you. Apparently, it's not my first radio, but being me, I'm probably everywhere all at the same time. A fellow Alistor, I detect. Yes, Atreides house. Absolutely. All right. Now that we have everybody assembled, and it's good to see you, Captain Ledoux. I hope that you're doing well on this wonderful Saturday evening. Let us go ahead and get to our first topic of discussion, and hopefully not so much a debate. This is a big topic because rumors have been spreading about for the last 7 days, a little over a week now, over what's happening over the case of Star Trek. A little Reddit article sent me down a rabbit hole of information, and we are about ready to cover it now. Hollywood is still on fire, folks. Let's see if we can at least fan the flames a little bit. We have ourselves coming up, if my computer will now actually provide me a little bit of that karmic retribution. Let's see what I did there, Theta. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and share it. The Duckyard has indeed been a pain in the keister today. So I stumbled across this little ditty on Reddit. Let's just scoot everybody down here so it looks nice and neat and prim and proper. And we'll go ahead and we'll get into the meat and potatoes, as it were. Big if true, I'm going to roll with it for now and choose to believe. Paramount is wiping out Kurtzman Star Trek with Simon Kinberg reboots claims rumor. Following the news that Skydance is ditching the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe, now a new rumor claims Star Trek is about to get a full cinematic reboot, and Paramount has tapped into Simon Kinberg to rebuild the entire franchise from the ground up. The rumor again comes via the Tachyon Pulse podcast, which we will be reviewing a little bit later on in this particular segment on YouTube, and says Kinberg's film is being developed as the state of the brand new trilogy that will replace everything from the Alex Kurtzman era. According to the YouTuber, Paramount wants the first movie in theaters around Christmas 2027 or early 2028, right after the current batch of shows run out the clock. Yep, that means new owners, Skydance, will be canceling the Alex Kurtzman Star Trek once the contract ends. It is a fresh start for the franchise. YouTube describes the project as a hard reset. Paramount executives reportedly told Kinberg and his team that the movie marks the, quote, beginning of something new, end quote, and will serve as the line that separates future Star Trek from everything Kurtzman and Secret Hideout had produced. The movie is said to take place after Enterprise, but before the original series, during a period of Federation history that has barely been explored on screen. The YouTuber calls it Star Trek Origins, explaining that it will follow the early expansion of the Federation and build towards the creation of the launch of the USS Enterprise. He adds that the concept that has evolved beyond Paramount's new leadership wants more freedom and fewer restrictions that has been existed for the project when it first started. A planned trilogy and long TV break, Tachyon Pulse claims Paramount wants 3 films mapped out where a single frame is shot. The trilogy would become the backbone of the franchise for several years, and the studio may pause all television development until at least the first movie is out. He doesn't believe Paramount would actually wait 8 years to greenlight a show if the trilogy hits, but the current plan appears to be a long break from Star Trek on television. If the rumor is accurate, both Starfleet Academy and Strange New Worlds will end sometime in 2027, and the studio will shift production to Pinewood Studios in Toronto. The idea to reuse sets and keep costs down while launching said reboot. Paramount reportedly rejects Kurtzman canon. The biggest claim that Paramount wants nothing to do with the Kurtzman canon is once the deal with Secret Hideout expires. Tachyon Pulse says Paramount will ignore the Romulan supernova from Picard, ignore the Borg twist in Season 3, and avoid acknowledging characters and storylines created in the Kurtzman years. Good, because they were completely and utterly inaccurate. He claims that this is partly because Secret Hideout owns its original contributions and Paramount doesn't want to negotiate for them. Instead, any future series will follow classic canon from the Berman era forward. Thank God. While quietly pretending that the last decade of shows never happened. Again, thank God. Why the new movie is a prequel. The YouTuber also says that the film needs to be a prequel because Paramount wants a clean slate without breaking established continuity. I hope that they laser this focus in. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's incredibly difficult to make a prequel. It is so hard to make a prequel because notes get lost, details are overlooked, production cues come in, production hell. It's a holy mess to make everything right. They are putting themselves into a window of time to be able to do their homework, and I pray to the good Lord that they do. Setting the story before the original series allows the studio to rebuild the universe visually and creatively while avoiding legal complications. The period between Enterprise and the original series contains only vague historical references, and the studio reportedly likes the freedom that comes with that. See, already beginning to make our eyes twitch. The movie will explore the early Romulan and Klingon reactions to Federation expansion without contradicting anything already locked in canon. That might be interesting. Taking the rumor with caution, obviously, the big phrase is taking it with a pinch of salt, ladies and germs, because Lord knows this is, as they say, an unverified rumor. He stresses that the entire thing is still just a rumor, but says multiple people in and around the project have told him the same details. His next video will supposedly cover the evidence he has gathered so far. We will be keeping an eye on that and doing a follow-up next Saturday for sure. But let's go ahead, and before we get into the outline proper, go ahead and pass the talking stick around and see exactly where we are going to end up. We can only hope. Absolutely, exactly. We got Ledoux saying that would be sick. Steven's like, can we finally get the first Klingon war? That's what it seems that we're leaning towards. But Digny, this is some good news, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty of potential from what we've heard so far. And if they are going to make a trilogy during this point in time, the first film will be fighting the Klingons, the second film will be fighting the Romulans, and then the third film will be fighting the Klingons and the Romulans together, and which the Federation wins, causes decades of Romulan isolation, and essentially causes the foundation for decades of war, continuous war with the Klingon Empire. So there's plenty of potential in this. Of course, making prequels is very difficult, especially when, different things have to align with what actually happens throughout the history of Star Trek. But I think the destruction of Kurtzman Trek would be the single greatest achievement in Star Trek's history. And if Paramount and Skydance can create a solid trilogy based on the premise of fight Klingons, then fight Romulans, then fight Romulans and Klingons, and just keep everything accurate, because there's not much information on that period of time, but there are some ironclad things throughout that period, then I think it has a lot of potential. Now, where it goes after that is going to be difficult, because I think Star Trek has a continuity problem in the long term. Where is it going to go? What is it going to lead to? And eventually, I think Star Trek needs to go back to basics, especially with the Federation, and that's how you can lay the foundation. These films can lay the foundation for something new, fresh, and vibrant that isn't poisonous, that takes place decades after the Berman era and decades after that thing Metalis made.
Well, let's not talk about planets that are literally named after a producer, which let it go to his head. Yes. Theta coming in from the Quinjet. What are your thoughts on this series of developments, and are you as hopeful as we are?
Yes, I am definitely very hopeful that they're going to least attempt to mull over what they have tried to push on us before and try to reboot with Gene Roddenberry's vision intact and get us going, get us Trekkies going again, get us something to be pumped up again about. Because we've been just tossed the literal butt end of a donkey, and we've been having to try to make a masterpiece out of it. And it was amazing when I heard that they were going to bring the TNG cast back together for season 3, and then when I saw what they did with it, it was just I can't tell you how disappointed I was. So this is another chance. I'm all about giving second chances to people, and I'm just hoping that they take advantage of this opportunity to reboot this in a way that true Trekkies, true Trekkers, whatever you want to call yourselves, actually want and have wanted from the start. So that's what I got.
Fantastic. Excellent points all around. Scoobs, I don't know if you're much of a Trek fan, but the writing's on the wall, so let's look at it from a perspective that I think you can agree. It's because Paramount is financially backed against a corner, isn't it? That they're finally making some conscious decisions because every good business needs to make this little thing called money, right?
Well, I am enough of a Trekkie to have my own personal little treble. I have to say that as far as movies and shows go and stuff, I highly prefer the William Shatner and the TNG. And I really, 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 really hope with this prequel that they're doing, they do not steer away from the direction that leads up to those versions of it, because those versions also themselves had very good movies. So as long as they don't screw up what we already have from the beginning, I will be happy. But right now I'm cautiously optimistic.
You are like me with some of these things that are coming out where I'm sitting on the fence, kind of like with Spaceballs. I'm kind of concerned.
Oh yeah.
We have to have at least enough of a sliver of optimism to hope for the best, though we also must still be grounded in reality enough to anticipate the worst.
Yes, because
because
like you said, prequels are not an easy thing. I mean, they kind of got lucky with Star Wars. Okay. Star Wars they got lucky with, but like you said, it's not easy with the prequels because you don't always get things right, no matter how much information you have on a show or a movie or just the book or whatever. If there's the slightest chance where you can screw it up, it could happen. And when that happens, it takes some people who aren't familiar with the series by surprise. And then when they finally see everything else that came before it, and such, they'll say, hey, that's not what happened in the prequel. It's like, well, you got to watch these first. It's kind of like, so it's insane that, they just really have to be careful.
I believe it. I believe that it's going to require a very gentle but firm hand. Director, would you agree with that assessment?
Overall, though I am an optimist in most regards, especially for humanity, I'm with Elon Musk, the to Mars, and so on, I reserve that optimism pretty much for humanity as a whole. I don't feel I owe this franchise and the companies behind it any optimism whatsoever, so I'll be quite happy just to see if they can successfully unscrew what has been decades of embarrassment. I mean, they ran a series called Star Trek Discovery, the acronym STD, and it was so apt.
It really was. It kind of left a burning sensation down in the nether regions, one that often was infectious and made you feel like you were going to die.
I saw in the article there was a rumor that William Shatner would be back, which would be impressive, but I'm kind of concerned about the only way they could pull that off is they have him go back in time this time, having had Spock do it last time. I would not like that.
Yeah, we don't need to, yes. There you hate Star Trek Discovery so much. Yes, what they did to Captain Pike was, we're not even gonna. That's a totally different rant. Let's go ahead and get into the second part of what we have here today, and that is, of course, what we do know. This is what we do know. Paramount is dumping J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Cast Eye's new direction. This is from Cosmic Book News, and this was uploaded a little earlier in the month. This was uploaded on the 4th. It says, Paramount isn't bringing back Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, or the rest of the crew from the J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboot. So the cinematic trilogy is confirmed to no longer be in the talks as far as canon is concerned. Nobody's being brought back. Contracts are terminated. Variety reports that the studio wants a fresh Star Trek movie and has moved on from the Kelvin cast. That means no Pine Quanto Urban Bridge reunion and no continuation of the 09 universe. This comes as Paramount is in transition and making franchise decisions tied to its future ownership. As we covered in the James Gunn DCU article, leadership wants recognizable IP with a clear strategy. Star Trek is part of that plan, but the reboot crew appears done. A little jackass in the middle there. But Paramount doesn't want Star Trek now. The Kelvin trilogy, Star Trek 2009, Into Darkness and Beyond, and mixed financial results. The 09 movie opened big, but the box office dropped by Beyond. Attempts to revive Pine and Quinto stalled for years, including scrap time travel movie with Chris Hemsworth. Oh my God, Chris Hemsworth doing time travel. Really? Absolutely not. Paramount now wants, according to this bullet point, a clean reboot or new timeline, new cast, and a modern franchise focused on theatrical, streaming, and global appeal. This mirrors across Hollywood reset, recast, rebuild. And Star Trek's franchise landscape. Streaming spinoffs kept Star Trek alive, Strange New Worlds, Picard, Lower Decks, Discovery, but Paramount wants a blockbuster film franchise again, not just shows on Paramount Plus. It didn't keep Star Trek alive. It only kept Star Trek relatively relevant. We were kicking a dead horse. You have to look at like Strange New Worlds is Picard totally pissed on, the Enterprise's second captain or third captain, and to the point to where they turned him into a robot, which was even sillier. You know what's funny? I'll make this point real quick. Is Sir Patrick Stewart, whenever he was getting interviewed, he would act so lively and clownish and laugh with these late show hosts. But then, whenever he would turn around, you'd just hear him go, 10 fucking long, grueling hours. And I'm like, oh my God. Lower Decks, if you look at it from the satirical point of view that it is trying to achieve, it merits a just barely small pass. If you're looking at it and go Rick and Morty in Star Trek, and you make it stand alone, it's a tolerable watch. I got a couple of chuckles out of it. I'm not gonna lie. I watched Lower Decks.
The dancing episode where they all have the dancing virus.
The dancing Klingons. There's only one Klingon song that I want to hear, and that's Opa Klingon style, and you can find that right here on YouTube. Period. Bar none. But Paramount wants a blockbuster film franchise again. The new film team and direction could align with broader changes if Paramount goes through a sale or restructuring. And it's also rumored that Paramount will be moving away from Kurtzman Star Trek, especially considering Variety reports Paramount is headed in the right direction. So that is what we know. Let us go ahead and look at this video a little bit.
Ooh.
We're just going to gloss over it, so that we're not, going over the time too much, because it is a 9-minute long video. But this is the video that the Reddit article was based on, and we're just going to skim through it. Give me 1 minute. And we will do.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
time. I don't understand why they need to put
Simon
things like
King's
Lower
Let
Decks in the same universe.
Twitch. All right. It's good to see Sakura Mita in the house as well. And everybody, thank you guys for hanging out. We will be getting to your super chats and your chats in the upcoming segment. We like to maintain a bit of order when we do this particular kind of program because it's better for you. It's better for me. It's better for all of us. So anyway, here is our current order of the day. We are going to turn on closed captioning. And I think we're just going to go ahead and go to, we'll just mute it and see what he's got here. The common Star Trek movie is still in active development and will be, I'm told, the next Star Trek cinematic movie. We're also being told that this is a kind of reset for Star Trek. Okay, so we've gotten that situated. Let's go over here to a little bit further down the line. It says repeatedly that part of the delay was for political reasons. The lawyers over at Paramount want to make sure that the series was not going to ruffle any more feathers as the merger was going through and was supposed to actually come out 3 months before it did. I know you guys, I told you as well, I said a couple of the actors on the series told me that this wasn't true, but at the end of the day, one of the excuses they said at the time it was delayed is so that it didn't go up against anything else major and it could get the best views. Okay, so that's all stuff that we've made points on. Okay. So, yeah, these are all points that we've made, so we don't have to spend too much time on this. But this is the video that was cited, so to speak.
That's an interesting looking freeze frame, that face.
Mm-hmm. Nesca25 says, if they are not going to respect the lore, characters, and story, why would we respect their modern spin on things? Absolutely. We want things to be cohesive, and we want things to be accurate. That's all we want. We don't want silliness and retcons and creative liberties. Emphasis on the term liberty, right? So with that, let us go ahead. You get our final thoughts on this issue before we wrap it up in a nice, neat bow. Digny, final thoughts on part the first.
Well, I honestly hope that these unofficial rumors do manifest because, folks, Star Trek as a franchise has been in a bad place for nearly 20 years now, and it needs a breath of fresh air. Otherwise, there is no saving what is a great franchise with a lot of potential, right? Maybe it'll boldly go where no one has gone before, and that is into the ash heap of history.
You know what? I'll give it to you. Carry on.
There we go. But best of luck to you, Paramount and Skydance. Probably won't have a lot of money to basically revive Star Trek if you're spending over $70 billion trying to buy Warner Brothers.
Absolutely. Hail to Shrubby 1989, Sakura Mita, and Nelska25. Thank you for joining us tonight as we are getting into the meat and potatoes of our current topics. Thank you, Digny, for your final thoughts on the issue, sir. Theta, number one.
Yes.
Your thoughts. What are your final thoughts?
Yes. Again, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I believe in second chances. I hope that what they do with Star Trek is something that we all love. And yeah, I mean, really, I kind of said it all in the first topic. I'm giving it a second chance. I love Star Trek so much. The whole utopia that's TNG and the whole Federation and Starfleet and all that, looking to the stars and everything. That was me as a kid. So to have it be torn to shreds like it has been over the past 2 decades, basically, it's just sad. Maybe not Yeah, maybe probably 2 decades. It's sad to really put that into perspective, but yeah, it's been probably about 2 decades. But anyway, um, I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually give, and if they do give us something that's worth watching, I will happily uh, give them my money back, and I will be, a supporter of their new projects. But if they have to show me something that is actually going to get my Trekkie heart pumping again, because right now it's on a flat line. Like it's barely there. It's just a barely little beep every once in a while, and until I get that heartbeat uh, back again, then they're not gonna they they're not going to be getting me back. So
Great assessment. Great final thought. Scoobs, what's your final thought, sweetheart?
I'm noticing Nace got 25 in chat, and I love what they got to say. Stop treating IPs as platforms for opinions, lifestyles, or politics. Just tell a good story. I highly agree with that.
It's not that hard, folks.
Mhm.
Niska 25 with The More You Know.
As far as my opinion goes, I wish them luck. I really do. I hope that they do a good job with this. I really do. Past experiences have shown otherwise. But yeah, I wish them luck.
Likewise. They're definitely going to need it, but they're going to need gumption, and they're going to need to have to deal with the patience that needs to be earned, as well as the trust of an already irate old school audience. Would you agree or disagree with that assessment, Director?
I would say that primarily, rather than go where no one has gone before, they need to find their way home. The original premise of Star Trek was an optimistic future for humanity. It's been deconstructed so many times now that it's just a bunch of messy parts lying on the floor. It needs to find optimism again. No more deconstruction, no more cynicism, and for God's sake, stop giving IPs to trendy idiots who seem to absolutely hate the IPs they're put in charge of.
Absolutely. Good way to put an end cap on this bad boy. And that end cap is going to be dated at 33 minutes and 8 seconds here. So let's go ahead and make sure that I can add that now. 0.08. All right, folks, let's go ahead and catch up on some of them super chat thingamadooders, shall we?
Let's see if we have any super chats in the picture show.
All right, let's see what the fine folks at home are saying right now on the super chat list. Let's go up to the tippity top. AJ Starhiker with a very generous Stark of Iron gifted membership directly to this channel that has been awarded to Brian the Boneless 3215. Thank you, my dear, and God bless you for supporting my humble little corner of the internet. You are helping me keep the lights on and keeping me right here at this station to be able to broadcast to you not just your entertainment on Thursdays, but your information on Sundays. Zalosi, you didn't have to, but thank you, sir. You're one of the best moderators out there. It's gifted 5 Stark of Iron gifted memberships. It's far more Shield agents back to the fold. We got Peepers is coming back. Terry Rose, Marcus Felix, Sons and Shadows Cast. That's a big name. And Rick Cleary, 1680. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. And it means the absolute world. Now that we've gotten through our super chats and our member donos section, let's go ahead and take a gander at what the fine folks are saying. Because freedom isn't free, even if it does cost $1.09, but your speech doesn't need to have a price change on this. So we got, of course, Captain Ledoux saying, I'd be doing better if my username displayed my rank. I don't care what. I don't know why it changed. Yep. Welcome to the wild, wacky world of YouTube. Hail to K. Shull in the chat. I think I missed you. And Byron of Sidious. I seem to have missed you too as well while I'm reading articles. Thank you guys for swinging by. And if you've left a like and love, then I will like and I will love you back. Let's see here. When it comes to Star Trek, I have to hope, says Stephen Walton. Yes, that was what Gene did with his titular IP. It was a symbol of hope. Hail to Daniel Berry Sports Highlight, who's saying happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday to you, sir, and I hope that life is treating you well. As long as they actually give a shit and make a good sequel, I think people could forgive some continuity errors. Again, it's all about patience as well as our ability to tolerate what is going to come out at the end of the day.
If they want to make it easy
Casco's-
for themselves, stay away from time travel. It doesn't make sense, not even in fiction. Stop it.
They've already done time travel once in the Next Generation movie. They don't need to do it again. No.
Well, it's just, time travel doesn't need to be on one timeline. That, it's now causality is now more of a narrative approach by divergent.
But that's not time travel. That's multiversal exploration. That's perfectly fine. But when they try to change events, it all goes to hell.
That's the reason why we just branch off causality whenever anybody goes off to the past. It's just smarter that way. Hail to File 13. I missed you at the door, too. He says, maybe they do a multiverse with Galaxy Quest, new Toy Story movie coming out with Tim Allen. Maybe there's hope to milk more quality franchises. Sup, homies, daddy's back. Good to see you, File. I've missed you. We've had adjustments to canon and past Treks, but I think we've done with care and the brand, whether they worked or not. Kurtzman's team never cared. Yeah, it's true. Kurtzman's team only cared about ruining everything for the sake of their narratives. Let's hear. I hate Star Trek Discovery so much, in all caps. Absolutely. Hail to Bodie Chris out there, Skull of Calderon's minion, Strubby 1989. It's already throwing bricks. Hail to Sakura Mita. How likely is Microsoft going into bankruptcy? Well, if you go back and you watch podcast, I showed a lovely little diagram of how Microsoft actually fits into the technological framework of the internet abroad. And it is an angry bird ready to topple the already tipsy tower. And, of course, hail to Mage Wolf. It's a pleasure to see you. Hail to the great Admiral Teague, saving Star Trek. Yes, right. Star Trek United is the most promising Trek TV project since Enterprise itself. I hope to bank on it. I hope that you are absolutely right. Just covered the rumor mill from our own sources on Reddit. And we got AJ Starhiker with a very generous $5 super chat. Hail and thank you, dear. She says, if I could time travel, first thing I would do is rescue the missing literature and media and make sure it wouldn't be rediscovered until after I left. It would definitely be good. A good, parallel future, as it were, if you did that, my dear. And Sig Vollison with a very generous $5 super chat. Hail and thank you, sir. He says, I hear Hollywood is talking about new Star Trek and maybe produce a good one versus just flapping their lips, all while the septum wearers are pushing their agenda. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Both great points. Thank you guys for supporting my humble little corner of the internet. I also want to give a special shout out to Alice Lovely, who sent in a $4.99 super thanks to my most recent Alice Store short that was filmed in VR chat in the Pride Ring subroom of the Has Been Hell of a Network with the hell traffic, and it's the radio model, and I had the drone camera and was able to record through it. There will be just as much of a unique spin with every Alistor dad joke as there is with every Skeletor meme and every Bill Cipher dark dad joke. So expect this new pipeline to be quite awesome. And no Spider-Man here indeed. Absolutely. We do have JJJR in the house. Thank you guys for your wonderful support. And I believe we are now ready to get on to our next topic of the day, and this one's a doozy. For those of you that don't know, I am a big Fallout geek. I'm as akin to Fallout as a lot of people are to Star Trek or in Star Wars, and Fallout and Warhammer has been my primary jams. And so when I heard that one of the founding members of Interplay that brought us Fallout had passed away, I felt it only not just an obligation, but a solemn duty to cover it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our next news topic at 40 minutes. And this one definitely hit close to the heart when it comes to Fallout. Celebrated game developer Rebecca Hyman dies at age 62. The gaming community mourns the beloved mentor and advocate with storied career. On Monday, a veteran game developer, Rebecca Ann Hyman, died in Rockwell, Texas at age 62 after a battle with adenocarcinoma. I hope I said that right. Apogee founder Scott Miller first shared the news publicly on social media, and her son William confirmed her death. Ars Technica, Hyman's GoFundMe page, which displayed the final message she posted about entering palliative care, will now help her family with funeral costs. Rebecca Berger Becky Hyman was born in October 1963 and grew up in Whittier, California. She first gained national recognition in 1980 when she won the National Atari 2600 Space Invaders Championship in New York at age 16. Becoming the first formally recognized U.S. video game champion, that victory launched her career spanning more than 4 decades and 67 credited games, according to Moby Games. Among many achievements in her life, Hyman was perhaps best known for co-founding Interplay Productions with Brian Fargo, Jay Patel, and Troy Worrell in 1983. The company created franchises like Wasteland, which was the predecessor to Fallout, and Baldur's Gate. And Interplay, Hyman designed The Bard's Tale 3, Thief of Fate, and Dragon Wars, while also programming ports of the classics like Wolfenstein 3D and Battle Chess. I remember playing Battle Chess on the Computer Lab Macintosh back in 1st and 2nd grade, man. Those were the days, dude. And, of course, we got a picture of the MS-DOS version of The Bard's Tale 3, in which if you look at Grognak the Barbarian, it's very similar. The Pip-Boy on Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, Grognak the Barbarian, is very much like this kind of setup where you got your party and you got all of their stats there, and you encounter enemies and friends along the way. After leaving Interplay in 95, Hyman founded Logicware and later Contraband Entertainment in 1999. At Contraband, she led development on Myth 3, The Wolf of Age, and oversaw ports of major titles including Baldur's Gate 2 and Heroes of Might and Magic 4. That is an arcade machine staple, Heroes of Might and Magic. Morty. During the 1990s, her work on the 3DO port of Doom became infamous in gaming history. Hyman programmed the port in a matter of weeks under extreme circumstances, and stories she later detailed on GitHub and in interviews. In 2013, she founded Old School with her wife, Jenna Jaquez, other industry veterans serving as CEO until her death. Ars Technica previously spoke with Hyman in 2022 about her studio's work at Stadia, Port of Luxor involved, that was canceled when Google shut down the streaming service. Again, very, very tough. Very, very tough loss. She spearheaded a lot of video gaming in the earlier days, and definitely helped mold my childhood. Hail to Jedi Master 2022 out there in the chat. It's a pleasure to see you. And Fox Hills is asking a question. I'll tell you why, because I run a tight ship. And Kaz says, I'm the Warhammer idiot. Well, from Warhammer idiot to another, it's a pleasure to see you, my friend, and thank you for hanging out. Admiral Teague says, CBS is now supporting Star Trek United on its own corporate YouTube channel. It could happen. I sure as hell hope so. But let's go ahead and go around the room, starting with Digny, since Fox Hills is pining for your voice, as it were.
Look, people, I got to relax somewhere, okay? So I relax here. But yes, this is a tremendous loss, Tony. It's always sad when people pass away, especially those who are trailblazers in any industry. I mean, the history of Fallout as a franchise is a very interesting one, and how it's changed and altered and developed to where it is today. And I find that to be very important, because I don't know much about Fallout's origins. I only know really its more modern incarnation, but I think it's very important for us to remember those who formed the foundation for where we are today, for better or for worse. So, of course, this situation is a sad one. Sadly, it's an inevitable situation, folks, but I'm sure this individual will provide inspiration for many people to duplicate over the months and years to come. Because, folks, what's better than Fallout? A new franchise inspired by it.
And we've been getting a lot of post-APOC games here lately. And yeah, speaking of post-APOC, Jill, we're just now discussing the death of Rebecca Heinemann, obviously co-founder of Interplay, and all of the creative IPs interred within. Theta of the Grid, you are sounding better. Thank you for landing the Quinjet. What are your thoughts on a tragic loss of one of video gaming's heaviest?
Awesome. Yeah. I'm there with Dickney. I don't know too much about Fallout, but you've hyped it up so much that it's bigger than life in my head. So like, I'm on the edge of like, have you hyped it up so much that I'm going to be let down because it's like you've reached this like ivory tower that I'm like in my head. It's like the best thing in the world, and I think you might be right, but I'm still on the edge. Like kind of like I want to know what this is all about. I've never played one of the games, but you've hyped it up so much that it has me excited. And this is a tragic loss, but time. That's life. We only get so much time on this planet, but she's made such an impact on so many lives, and all I can say is God bless her.
And her legacy will most definitely live on, even in the hands of Bethesda, who like to take let's just say, liberties. That's an interesting word that I've used twice tonight with the intellectual property. But I digress, and hail to enter a derivative Jill out there in the chat. It was good discussing Interspace with you earlier today. And it's good to see everybody hanging out. See, now, I don't know, man. I think the news show is just getting better and better. And I'm glad that we now have a bit of a support with a network behind us to be able to keep our panels varied and fresh as throughout the next coming weeks, months, and possibly even years. All right, Scoobs. I'm pretty sure you're a big Fallout fan. How did you take this bit of somber news?
Well, when I think of Fallout, I think of how the last time I got very angry with the whole 16 times the detail, everything just works. BS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bethesda Studios is literally right an hour away from me. So I had some very angry thoughts that I kind of wanted
Shrubby, you hear that? Shrubby, you hear that? We need you to ship some bricks over there to Scooby. She's got to practice her throwing.
Oh, forget the bricks. I would have just marched on in and said, hello. Screw the bricks. Just bring out the fist. Beat the shit.
Just wants to go in swinging. Absolutely fantastic.
My introduction to Fallout was Fallout 3. My friend, whom I consider a little brother, insisted I play.
Right.
So he gave me the only copy of Fallout that he had left, which was Fallout 3. And I remember when I first played it, the first place I made it to in that game was Bethesda Studios.
Wow.
And he told me, he was like, how the hell did you get over there? I was like, I don't know, but I got a trophy for it. He's like, don't you read a compass? I said, I don't even know how to read a compass in real life. Come on. But yeah, it's sad when you hear things like this. It really is. Especially when this person was responsible for such a very good, strong start. And now that they've passed on, it's just going to go downhill from here. And unless somebody else can pick up where they left off and really just fix things, because it's ever since then. I mean, let's face it, Fallout has recently just gotten a lot of bugs. It's not the way it used to be.
Right.
And like I said, and like Diggy said, things, people don't live forever, and this was bound to happen some way, shape, or form. And it's sad to see them go, but
It's the
it is
old
what it is.
saying. Remember, we all are going to die. Memento mori. in Latin
It is. It
Bible.
is what it is. It's,
Mhm. But it's the legacies that we keep that are
Mhm.
truly immortal. That's what
Yes.
matters. And as long as we hold on to the old guard and we represent the old guard and we pass down the ranks of the old guard to people of like-mindedness, however scarce it may be, then the immortality of the concepts and the video games and the IPs and our pop culture may even outlive this immortal right here, even because now he's actually quite honest when he says he's immortal, because he often texts me at 3 a.m. and he says, Tony, get your ass down here from Stark Tower. I'm going to fight another immortal to the death. I'm going to cut his guy's head off. Okay, I'll be there. I'll bring the camera.
See, I only do that when it becomes like 5 a.m. Then I start to do that kind of shit to you.
Sir, I know it's so controversial. Director, what are your thoughts about this tragic loss, and do you believe in the sentiment of keeping our old ways alive?
I do. Tradition has a lot of value. The reason tradition exists is because things worked. I have to say, 60 seems a bit young to me. That is sad, but it's not the length of one's life, it's what one does with it. And whether or not one is even remembered, what happens always will have happened, so it's always important to make it good.
Absolutely. We live in a world of possibilities, for sure.
Question, though. Does Bethesda still make games? Because have they released anything new in the... Look,
Yes.
I don't think the remakes count at this point.
No, they do still make games.
Have you not heard of the stellar success that is Starfield?
Oh yeah, everybody loves it.
The game that made $1 billion?
Yeah, everybody
I completely forgot about it, actually. I suppose that
Starfield is
would
Bethesda's
count.
best game ever because it made $750 million in a month and then $250 million in 11 months.
And just like Fallout, everything just works.
And it disappeared as soon as a fat bald guy condemned it. He's not fat
What did they find in
anymore,
it to condemn?
He's not fat anymore. He's actually in the best shape he's ever been in his life.
Exactly.
Shout out to Az from Heels versus Babyface.
He went to the Wizard of Oz. Oz being short for Ozempic.
Ozempic.
No, I think he actually. I've seen his accountability posting.
I know. I'm just, that
was a good play on words. Yes.
Oh, thank you, Theta. Thank you.
Ding dong, the bit is dead. No, it is not really dead. Ding dong, the fat ass bit is dead. Bump, bump, bump. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna cap this off at 54 on the dot, so 14 minutes. That is the perfect length for a video section. Look at us being super efficient. I'm really proud of you guys. So proud. You make me want to cry, man. But we do have at least one super chat that snuck in through the door, so let's go ahead and get to those.
Mr. Stark, it's time for some super chats.
So let's go ahead and bring back up the chat, read that super chat, see what everybody at the home plate is doing, and we will go from there, as it were, ladies and gentlemen. Let us scroll up and see what we have here. I believe the Great Jedi Master 2022 with a generous $2 super chat. Hail and thank you, sir. He says, great panel, Tony. Glad you are well. Yes, I am back from vacation, and boy, howdy, did I ever need it. Did I ever need it? So thank you for everybody who helped me through my time away from this place. And you know who you are. And thank you for still investing in my humble little corner of the internet for your source of entertainment as well as information on Saturdays. And I hope that you all are having a fantastic weekend so far. We got so much more planned this evening. And rock your socks off. But of course, free speech is exactly that, free. So who needs a price tag? Let's see what everybody's thinking right now. So speaking of impossibilities, Kaz 2671 says, I have to do a thing. Be well, everyone. Be well, Kaz 2671. And it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope to see you back in my chats on Thursdays, where you'll see the polar opposite to this kind of show. One that's chaotic, full of impersonations, parody songs, maybe even a little piano. Chris says, that was back when Fallout was good and no one fucked up the lore. I miss those days. I miss them too. Jill goes on to say that, yes, I love Fallout. Sigvala says, I played it when it first came out so many decades ago. Likewise, my friend. If you enjoy open world games, you should try Fallout. Lots of fun, says Stephen Walton. Absolutely, my friend. We got Mage Wolf giving out shout outs. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me on this Saturday night. You guys are fantastic. We got Cody coming in. Cody, I think I have a day lined out for your Stark Relief Foundation. Get with me in the very near future and we'll discuss times. And of course, we got our good friend Naska says, never played Fallout. Not really my kind of game. Sad to see, though. Yes, it is unfortunate, but it is true. Bethesda has a great, quote, end quote, track record for taking beloved IPs and destroying them. It seems to be the MO in a lot of these industries nowadays. Jill said she likes Fallout 4, but it's not so much of an RPG anymore. I didn't even bother with 76. 76 is good if you get Fallout first and play it by yourself. At least then you have, a pretty new wasteland to poke your nose around in. So hail to the great Lord Dragneil. It's a pleasure to see you as well. And Jedi Master says, fuck, I'm the only one going down a well if there's a bag of gold down there. Ryan Starfield, though, absolutely. We got some rustling in the back here. Fallout, so is my hair. I would love to see Tony's reaction to the Fallout show. Well, what if I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that that's going to be what we're going to cover at the very end of tonight's program. We're going to be looking at Season 2's trailer in full on our What to Watch segment. As you all know, we do a fun segment at the end of the show. We get through the bad news first, and then we like to have a little fun. And I like to alternate it. One time it's a movie we love, one time it's reacting AI as slop. May even bring back Max the cat and his ownership of the alleyways, because I miss that little guy and I miss his squalling. So that will indefinitely be happening in the very near future. Who knows what kind of fun segment we have next week. Oh, we've got new cat fights. I found out the new place that he's uploading his stuff to. So Max the cat will return for sure.
YouTube made him switch channels.
Yeah.
His old channel.
Oh.
Too violent.
Yeah, he's like, stock it up. That's right. Oh. And of course, Mage Wolf, who's been a member at the Shield Agent level for 6 months. Thank you, sir, for supporting my humble corner of the internet. He says, Jarvis, I have misplaced my pants. I am so sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to let Jarvis know. And that's going to put a cap on our super chat segment for this particular parcel. Alas, we like to keep our news a bit varied. So what if I told you that our next article is going to be our odd news segment of the day? So let's go ahead and get our laughter on, or in this case, get the barf bags ready, because we're going to be doing a little deep dive into that Vegemite crap. Here's our odd news for the day. An Australian prisoner sues for his human right to eat Vegemite.
Who in the hell would want to eat that?
Shrubby, you have some explaining to do.
Yeah, you got some explaining to do, Shrubby.
You got explaining to do. Could you get out of my face?
I wouldn't force that on my worst enemy.
Oh, God, no. Absolutely not. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Melbourne, Australia. A prisoner is challenging an Australian state's ban on inmates eating Vegemite, claiming in a lawsuit that withholding the polarizing yeast-based spread breaches his human right to enjoy his culture as an Australian. Andre McKechnie, 54, is serving a life sentence for murder. Took his battle for the salty, sticky brown byproduct of brewing beer to the Supreme Court of Victoria, according to documents released to the Associated Press on Tuesday. Most Aussies revere Vegemite as an unfairly maligned culinary icon, but more than 80% of Australian households are estimated to have a jar in their pantries. But inmates in all 12 prisons in Victoria are going without. McKechnie is suing Victoria's Department of Justice and Community Safety, the agency that maintains the prisons, Corrections Victoria. The case is scheduled for trial next year. Challenging the ban, Vegemite has been banned from Victorian prisons since 2006, with Corrections Victoria saying it interferes with narcotic detection dogs. Well, that's a good excuse. Inmates used to spear packages of illicit drugs with Vegemite in hopes that the odor would distract the dogs from said contraband. Vegemite also contains yeast, which is banned from Victorian prisons because of its potential to be used as the production of alcohol, contraband list says. A decade ago, Vegemite, then U.S. owner Mandalis International, rejected media reports that remote Australian indigenous communities were using Vegemite to brew alcohol in bathtubs. Mondelez said in a statement, "A manufacturing process killed the yeast, and Vegemite cannot be fermented into alcohol." McKechnie is seeking a court declaration that the defendants denied him his right under the Charter of Human Rights and Responsibilities Act to enjoy his culture as an Australian. The Act guarantees all persons with particular cultural, religious, racial, or linguistic background the right to enjoy their culture, to declare and practice their religion, and use their language. He also wants a declaration that the defendants breached the Corrections Act by failing to provide food inadequate to maintain McKechnie's well-being. The Australian favorite, manufactured in Australia since 1923 as an alternative to Britain's Marmite, Vegemite is a long marketed as a source of vitamin B for growing children. Can you imagine having a Flintstones vitamin instead of just being flavored chalk? Be some nasty, salty, black goo. The spread is beloved by a majority of Australians, but is typically considered an acquired taste. Acquired taste by the best that weren't raised on it. The last U.S. president to visit Australia, Barack Obama, once said it's horrible. Yeah, no shit. No. Australian band Men at Work aroused international curiosity when they mentioned the Vegemite sandwich in the 1980s hit Down Under. Yep, and many people are still regretting it to this day. The band's lead singer, Colin A., once more accused American critics of laying Vegemite in too thick and tore. Oh, what happened? Okay. More is more U.S. culture. It is a favorite on breakfast toast and cheese sandwiches. Most fans agreeing it's best applied sparingly. It should be applied at all. It should be... There needs to be a tea party. There needs to be an Australian Vegemite party where we all dress up as Aboriginals and throw that shit overboard. Australian travelers promote Vegemite scarcity overseas. The Australian government intervened in April when Canadian officials temporarily prevented a Toronto-based cafe from selling Vegemite in jars and on toast. In a dispute to media branded as Vegemite Gate, Canadians relented and allowed the product to be sold despite its failure to comply with local regulations dealing with food packaging and vitamin fortification. The Department of Justice and Community Safety Corrections Victoria declined to commit Tuesday. Government agencies generally maintain it is not appropriate to commit on issues that are before the courts. Prisons in Queensland, South Australia, and Tasmania states of the Australian Capital Territory also ban Vegemite, but Australia's most populous state, New South Wales, does not. Other Australian jurisdictions, whether Australia's state and Northern Territory, have yet to tell AP where they stand on the spread. Victims of crime criticize Vegemite lawsuit. It's a big number right there. The victims of crime advocate and lawyer John Heron said it was a frivolous lawsuit that was offensive to the victims' families. Vegemite is just offensive. As victims, we do not have any rights. We have limited, if any, support. It's always about the perpetrator, and this just reinforces that, said Heron, whose daughter, Courtney Heron, was beaten to death in a Melbourne park in 2019. Her killer was found not guilty of murder by reason of mental impairment. I think we've covered our bases here with this one, folks. I don't get it.
Makes two of us.
I'm completely speechless.
I just can't get the fact that if they were feeding Vegemite in American prisons, the suit would be of a cruel and unusual punishment.
I think he should be. I think he should be put in prison for even thinking about doing that.
Yeah. Vegemite, keep that shit away from me.
Here's an interesting new food plan for prisoners. They can eat Vegemite and they can drink petrol, also known as gas to the Americans.
We know what petroleum is.
I would say give prisoners two choices: death sentence or Vegemite.
Vegemite for the rest of their life.
Oh, for the love of Holy Terra, that is.
We established.
Which would they prefer, death sentence?
The Australians are insane. They'll choose the Vegemite.
Give me the I'm out of here.
I only mentioned drinking petrol because a lot of Australians of a certain group do have a problem where they drink petrol.
I mean,
Well,
do they really?
This
yes.
Now I see here somebody listen. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. Now Steven says here, he says I think you should do a show where the panel tries out Vegemite, Stark. Okay, listen, fun fact. I'm not the kind of streamer or channel or content creator that is going to reward donations with the suffering of my person or the persons that are involved on my panel. I believe in a higher standard of entertainment to where we are not your trained monkeys dancing for peanuts, playing shitty games, and doing stupid crap for super chats. Now, I know that there's some people that are used to that kind of treatment that want to go through their own personal hells for a few bucks. But I like to set a higher standard. But thank you for your suggestion. I will ignore it.
Christ, I can't even be on camera anymore, so I'm not eating Vegemite, and nor am I drinking petrol for donations, folks.
I will not eat Vegemite. I will not eat Marmite. I will not drink petrol.
No, petrol's right out, but I am mercenary, so I could probably be bribed to Vegemite.
Sorry.
So
Theta sounds like he drinks petrol, okay?
Maybe occasionally. Just a little.
All right, let's go around the horn and get our final thoughts. Let's start with you, Digny. Let's beat this horse.
Okay, first of all, this is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that you are allowed to eat and drink in prison and have time to exercise is ridiculous. It just goes to show how pampered the prison system is. The fact that in a Western country, you can literally sue the people imprisoning you. And what are the damages? You're in prison. What are they going to do? Just give you Vegemite and that's your settlement? It's absolutely ridiculous. This is a ridiculous topic in my view. And, the judicial system sent him there. So why would the judicial system suddenly support prisoners' rights?
That's a great question. That is a fantastic question. Nesca25 says, not going to say names or anything, but some of us recall someone with nip tassels for donations. That's not suffering. When Ginger Wolf rewarded everybody with DEFCON 1, that wasn't streamers suffering with garbage. That was streamers celebrating with boobies.
Ripping the tape off was rather unpleasant, though.
Yeah, streamer suffering would be electrocuting her for donations.
Or making her play something as bad as, I don't know, Dustborn.
Yes, that was very profitable.
I had to. Don't date. No kink shame, but no kink shame. Theta, what are your thoughts on
Vegemite? I think I pretty much said it. When I said Vegemite, get that shit out of my face for the rest of my life. I don't ever want to see that, smell it. I don't ever want any of my senses to go anywhere near it. Keep it away from me. Keep it in Australia down there on the southern hemisphere, away from me.
Now, I will say this much: Canadian Spider-Man. If you want to see a person eat Vegemite, there is an episode of Canadian Spider-Man where he has done exactly that. after I challenged him to so that I could be thoroughly disgusted. Go do your homework on Canadian Spider-Man if you want to witness the revolting act in action, because you guys are so obsessed with punishing yourselves. Scooby!
Tony,
What are your thoughts on this?
this Vegemite is something that, they should allow this, because Vegemite is something that should be used as capital punishment instead of actual food. Like I said, they should give prisoners a choice. You can die. You can die, or you can have Vegemite.
No, they should
And
trick
which
you.
tonight?
They should give you the option, and if you if you say that you want,
That's what I just basically said. They can have
oh.
they have two options. They can either die, or they can have Vegemite for the rest of their time being.
no, but I'm saying
Which would then kill them.
but I'm saying trick them, and if they say that they want to go ahead and pass on, you give them Vegemite anyway.
Yes. Yes, that's your last meal, sir.
Yeah.
But I wanted a full English. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
What's your last meal? I want a steak. No Vegemite? No Vegemite. What do? Give them a steak with Vegemite on them if they've been very
A1
bad.
sauce, I promise. It's A1 sauce. It don't smell like A1 sauce.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
eat the damn thing. But it is Vegemite. It is definitely
Yes.
a punishment. Just the fact that it exists is a crime against humanity.
Absolutely. All right, director. Is there any scientific application that we can use this otherwise useless fermented yeast curd?
Oh, everything has uses. I don't know what the is for this one. I mean, its name sounds like a parasite, and somehow you can just smell it from the name alone. Vegemite.
It's
like
Good-
yeasty
I'm
and
gonna-
punches you in the sinuses. But I think we need to observe right now, the Australians like it. They're insane. They've been twisted by decades of being a penal colony that remains one, but now on a larger scale. I personally have no objection to the prisoners torturing themselves with it. I would like it quarantined to the island nation if at all possible, though.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff.
I say we do like a Sydney Vegemite party where we get a bunch of Aussies to dress up as Aboriginals and they just take crates of it and throw it in the water.
Look, when they explained that it might have been used in fermenting and bootlegging alcohol, I thought maybe I finally understood why they like it. It's not for eating, it's for brewing. That makes sense. But now apparently it doesn't work for that, and I remain at a total loss.
And hail to Marcelo Lopez out there. I understand that you did not make it to us tonight. You had to take care of your dad. That is perfectly fine. A panel of 5 is exactly right in the middle where I want it, between 4 and 6. So we are in no dire straits whatsoever.
I would like to say one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
This is one of the many reasons why I will never, ever, ever go to Australia. They have too much shit there that I don't like. The fucking spiders and all that stuff. No way.
Oh, that's right.
Scooby
loves spiders.
I will never go to Australia. Not just so much crap there that they have that I don't like. That scares the crap out of me. I'm sorry. No. This is just another thing to put on the list.
Look, what's clear to me is Australia is one of God's weirdest jokes. You have all the deadliest animals on the planet, and it's also the home of the koala, an animal that seems to me to be too stupid to live, and of course the platypus, which I've known people who have refused to acknowledge those things are real. They thought that was just a cartoon character joke.
Yeah.
Well, all this Australia phobia caused my system to go kaput. So I'm back now, and I can tell you this: Australia is a fantastic example of why English is the universal language, because English-speaking people turned a wilderness into a prosperous civilization in just a few hundred years, and they weren't even our best people. They were criminals.
K-Shul wants a huntsman spider. Can they be imported? Oh, yes, they can. Take it from a former tarantula owner. You can get a spider imported from anywhere.
Yeah, I could smack you around for that.
Scooby! Christmas is coming up, you know.
Yeah.
You could try desensitizing yourself. Salt acids are adorable.
Yeah, and I might have to change my address since Tony knows where I lived.
Oh, no.
Merry
no.
Christmas, Scooby Pup. Here's a gigantic snake, and here's this other
Balls of
snake.
jumping
from the
spiders.
pet
They're
store.
tiny puppies, really, I swear.
Here's the thing, though. I got no problem with snakes. I got no problem with scorpions or any of that other shit. It's spiders. It's fucking spiders.
You don't have a problem with scorpions?
No, I don't mind scorpions. I think they're cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when a professional show gets derailed and we talk about people's phobias over all of the creepy crawlies. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to tighten this bad boy up. We're actually going to end cap our prior segment at 1 hour and 15 minutes on the nose. And we had another very generous donation from Casey's Creepy Creations. So let's go ahead and play Yonda Bumba. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just see who we got coming back into the green sleeves, because the great Casey's Creepy Creations has donated 5 Stark Environment memberships back to the channel. We got JJJR, Sci-Fi Mombi, Rye Valkyrie, Michael Whitehead, Nemesis of Eden, and Alice of the Hull coming back into the green sleeves. Thank you so much for your generous donation. And of course, free speech does not require a price tag. So let's see what people are talking about whenever we mention Vegemite. Yes. Alice Lovely simply says, okie dokie. Cody says, we have the right to Vegemite. Please tell me you don't like Vegemite. Steven goes on to say, I looked it up. It sounds disgusting. Yes, it does. It sounds absolutely vile. And it makes you feel bad when you think about it. And that joke was bad and you should feel bad. I think you should do a show. Yeah, we've already covered that. Sorry, panel had to take care of dads. We've covered that. Yeah, it's good to hear that your dad is in better shape. Nesca25 says, I'm fine with snakes and spiders. Only a very small number of them pose a threat to people. I even had a pet snake, a ball python, pure white with ice blue eyes, and her name was Luna. Aww. It sounds like a real cuddle buddy. As far as spiders go, we made a deal. They don't bother me, and I don't bother them. So long as they stay out of inconvenient places, I leave them be. That's going to bring us up to our daily on the 8th. However, the last but certainly not the least mandatory news category is, of course, community news. This is just a YouTube thing. This is also across Twitch, Rumble. It's a streamer that stands out doing something that, well, they aren't supposed to. And last time that we covered it, I think we was on a Peach Jars rant, and then we did some Hassan Piker coverage. But it looks like it's Jack Doherty's turn on the chopping block. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to cover exactly why he was, well, for lack of the better word, arrested. If my computer will actually do the thing. Why are you not doing the thing? It's this one, yes? This here? Yes. There we go. Now we can play the bumper.
Why can't we all just get along?
It literally is the best bumper of the bunch because this community is always at each other's throats, isn't it? Jack Doherty was, you guessed it, arrested in Miami Beach on drug possession and resisting arrest charges. Who'd have thunk? I don't want to watch your ad. Watch your ad. Watch your ad. Okay. YouTuber and streamer Jack Doherty was arrested in Miami Beach, according to police records of the footage of the arrest. The 20-year-old creator was taken into custody outside a smoke shop early Friday morning. Look at that mugshot.
Looks like a child.
How do I know him?
I
know
loved
the
him in
face.
Stranger Things.
Oh, that's him. Oh, wow.
That's
my
the one
God,
that
wasn't
was.
he-
That was a kid that was trolling peach jars at TwitchCon saying the F word.
Didn't he have a stream with wasn't he on one of that darn Kitty's streams that one time as a guest?
Was he on Kidda's stream? Are you kidding me? What a
I'm trying to think. He looks like one of the guests that she had.
Wow.
I'm not too sure, but he looks exactly like one of the guests that she had when she was talking about politics.
That's funny. That is
The name sounds more
incredibly-
familiar than the face. He must have changed a lot.
This is the kid that was trolling peach jars at TwitchCon with the F word.
I don't know about that. I didn't
Like
follow
when
that.
we covered that, like I think 3 StarkCasts.
Oh,
Doherty
okay.
is known for his live streams and high-profile content collaborations, building an audience of more than 13 million followers across TikTok and the Gram, and 15 million subscribers on YouTube. He's recently been streaming through the platform Party, and hours before the arrest, his broadcast footage was from a yacht in Miami. So this kid is successful AF. You know, I look at kids like this, getting on there and just showing his face and acting a clown like Logan Paul or whatever. And here I am, you know, talking like cartoons, busting my ass with a variety show. You know, we got other people out there covering the news. Got all these other motherfuckers that are actually treating this like work, and we get slighted without relevance. Well, clowns like this dude gets offered Raid Shadow Legends and Manscaped promos every
The
other
word
week.
connected comes to mind.
Apparently, he's
Yeah.
the bastard that ate Steven for Walton's lunch in 2nd grade. Let's pound his ass.
It's pound his ass.
Maybe that didn't come out right.
Miami's
No,
Beach
he's not
police
going to-
cuffed Doherty outside a smoke shop and booked him into Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center shortly before 9 a.m. local time on November 14th, 2025, which is 6 days ago. He was arrested on 3 charges: possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. That's right. When they were booking him down, he started squirming and doing the worm. He was doing the worm and said, "No, please don't arrest me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Please, I want to go back to my comfortable penthouse apartment." No. Police say amphetamine and marijuana were recovered. According to the arrest details cited by TMZ's, officer says Doherty was found in possession of amphetamine, a medication typically prescribed with conditions such as ADHD and narcolepsy. Police also reported recovering less than 20 grams of marijuana, so a possession charge, not a possession with the intent to distribute. Footage circulating online shows Doherty surrounded by officers near the patrol vehicle. The clips, which appears to have been filmed by a bystander, show police placing him in cuffs before transporting him off the scene. Let's take a gander. Let's do it. Let's watch. Add removed details. No, it was Doherty's bond was set $3,500. Okay, so like literally 2 days worth of streaming for this prick, and he's out. In the hours leading up to the arrest, Doherty streamed live on Party and posted new footage from Miami. His recent broadcasts have documented travel and lifestyle content, including appearances with other influencers and clips filmed around luxury cars and rental properties. Yeah. Well, kids, what can we say? Act a fool. Eventually, you're going to get the law involved. Am I right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Not the devil's lettuce. Oh, the very same. Oh, yes. This idiot was live streaming himself speeding in a McLaren, crashed, and was more worried the stream was still running than his camera guy was hurt. Yep, it's that kind of asshole. It's that kind of asshole, ladies and gentlemen. 13 million followers are the kids he wanted to stuff in a locker in high school because he was the douche. Yep.
For shame.
Well,
You know, then
karma's a
you know
bitch,
this guy's what gives us honest working folk a bad name. When people say streamer, they think of people like him, like the fucking Logan Paul and Jake
well, but that's
Paul and
why karma's a bitch, and karma comes around. So you act a fool, and shit like this is gonna happen to you.
yeah, you act a fool and you're gonna suffer at the end
You
of the
say
day.
you say shit
Um,
like this, and it makes us look bad, just like Hassan and all them other assholes.
Oh yeah, don't. Yeah.
By
Makes
the
us
way, is
all
he out
look
of
bad.
China? 'Cause I'm
Totally
really hoping he
different.
never gets out of China.
That's yeah.
No, but it still makes us streamers look bad.
Yeah.
Hail to cancel this podcast. Thank you for hanging out with us over on the Green Machine. Still coming in to show support, my friend. Yes, we're going to try and get you on as a special guest. Please reach out. My handle is the same on YouTube and X, respectively, or you can use Digny as a liaison to communicate so that we can have you on, because I'm pretty sure that you would love to. I mean, look at how pretty my stage is. I mean, look at that. Look at all the work I put in. Let me get rid of this right quick.
Jose is
Look
very
at that. Look at
Jose
how
is
pretty.
very talented, but he's not the most controllable of creators. He always likes shooting from the hip.
I don't know. If he sees what kind of ship I run, I think he might enjoy having a segment of each article to himself so that he can not just shoot from the hip, but I don't know, maybe fan the hammer. Play by my rules. You'll be able to do all of the cool things.
Well, let's talk about
Foxtech,
these.
trust us.
But let's talk about these Miami Vices now, shall we, folks? Because we have to understand that prominent creators, when they become so well known and they have so many resources at their disposal, some of them, not all of them, but some of them think they're untouchable. And some of them are, like Hassan Piker, who can get away with all sorts of egregious statements as well as electrocuting his animal. Hopefully he doesn't have any more animals to electrocute. But this is actually a good thing, right? Because we need more openness, honesty, and transparency in content creation and live streaming. And one aspect of that is greater accountability. Otherwise, this cycle of prominent creators doing as they please will just get worse and worse and worse. And in order to become very, very popular doing this, you have to be pathologically insane. You have to be.
Agreed.
That's why the example of the guy driving a McLaren crashing and worrying more about the stream than about the cameraman. The cameraman's expendable. The stream is not.
Yep. Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
What kind of attitude this kid has.
And he's been educated and indoctrinated to believe that because that's how he became successful. People respond to incentives. If I can double my audience through throwing Theta under the bus, and I see other examples of creators doing that, I'm going to do that because I respond to incentives. Now on to Theta. Where's the bus?
We don't have a bus here.
We already landed the plane.
This is a nuclear. This is a nuclear hellscape. We could probably cobble a resemblance of a bus together. Give us a few months. Theta, what are your thoughts on this issue, and why is it that we individuals have to bust our ass just to get chicken scratch, but this kid can just go out and act a complete moron and
because the parents that have raised this generation of kids that are now of voting age and that have power and everything, they don't know what it's like to have grown up in our time. And I hate to sound like an old fart, but I am an old fucking fart. So the whole deal is they don't understand what it's like to work for things, and that's why there are certain platforms, not just social media wise, but that women can do and stuff like that are just the easier it is to do something, no matter how outrageous it is, the more likely this next lower generation is going to do it. They're going to put themselves out there and do the stupidest shit that you can imagine, because that's what's going to get the views. There's no, and it really reflects, honestly, why we're getting the movies that we're getting, because the people that are writing our scripts and writing our TV shows are these same assholes, these same idiots that are pulling this shit. They don't have any creativity. They just want to go out there and do the dumbest shit. So they write the dumbest shit and they get it sold. They get their screenplays sold because they're what's hip and cool. And I hate, again, I sound like an old fart, but I am an old fart now. So whatever. I'm used to actually having a good plot, good solid writing, good solid character development, good solid ideas for content creation. And we're in a time where the people that are most prominently watching this stuff are the dumbest idiots that you could imagine. And so the lowest common denominator is what's going to get the attention, and voila, we get Jack Doherty.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Theta of the Grid, and the more you know. Scooby, how can you top that performance? Give your best shot anyway. Go ahead.
A lot of kids that do this shit are also at the same time nepo babies.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they've been born into rich families, but obviously, still act like fucking morons. They've been born into families that give them opportunities that other, YouTubers can't find themselves in a lot of the time. And as Theta says, they don't know what it's like to work hard for your shit. They don't know what it's like to get how hard it is to get an actual audience without doing something stupid because their ass is stupid. It's their generation has no clue as towards how to do anything. Really, they don't. They really need to be put through the ropes. They need to experience this stuff, whether they like it or not. And they shouldn't be allowed to bitch about it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Spitting facts. Director.
I have what I hope is a bit more of a nuanced take on this. First off, I don't think anyone should be very upset about their success. They're not getting it through any real merit. As mentioned, Nepo babies, we're basically dealing with neo-nobility, people who are from established wealth, just blowing it in ways that they find both fun but hopefully still profitable. It's not worth it to have the success if you have to actually be them. And as mentioned, the rest, he's medicated up to the gills, legally and otherwise. He probably feels he needs it. But the problem here is, again, I took notes and I lost it. Suffice to say, I think they might be malignantly narcissistic, and as such, they're only going to see people as things and consequences as something someone else inflicted upon them. I don't think this arrest is going to make much difference in Doherty's case. As I understand, the bond was at $3.5K. He probably carries that around in pocket change. It'll be forgotten immediately. But I would say that it's hasty, and I would not recommend assuming that their successes are organic, that it's because of what they're doing, it's who they are and who they're connected to. I don't believe they are organically where they are.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah.
Fantastic. I believe that is a good way to cap it off at 1 hour and 35 minutes. Well, 1:34:45, but what's 45 seconds anyway? All right. Okay. Well, we went through some pretty tough things, but now I think it's time for us to actually relax a little bit, have a little fun, and look forward to something. And of course, since this whole episode has been about a fallout that is not only in pop culture, but in gaming and in the outer streaming community, I feel it only prudent that we cover at least a form of fallout that I know that I'm looking forward to. So let's go ahead and cover this on our fun segment of the week, What to Watch. All right, and of course, this is season 2 of the Fallout series, and it is going to be an absolute banger. I am going to see here. Let's scoot everybody over to the side here because we have to play this on mute so we don't have copyright goblins messing with my money. Because unlike Jack Doherty, I have to actually, work for my YouTube money instead of crashing McLarens and all that nonsense. So let's go ahead and give this a gander here. And so we got the ghoul, and from the looks of it, and then now a little context, this is in New Vegas, so it looks like some of the members of the King's gang are also ghouls. There's our take on a rad scorpion. Look at that rad scorpion. Oh my God. Dude getting mauled by a rad roach. Now that's funny. Every level 1 vault dweller's worst nightmare when the rad roach gets you.
Yeah, this whole thing really pumps me up. I love that mouth.
Oh my goodness, that man has a woman's parts on his chest.
Yeah.
With teeth to match.
Yeah, well, there's that horror movie Teeth where.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That right there, that is like the screwed up version. That's the biggest blooper of Jennifer's body.
Oh no.
It's like, dude, put that away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is the biggest blooper for Jennifer's body. Hey, we put it in the wrong area, put it on the wrong person too.
Oh yeah. So, but good people, no. So
I don't think any man has ever been quite that
There's
lonely.
our impromptu Brotherhood Knight, Titus. And there's Lucy, still looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, though she seems to be a little bit more experienced after spending these last few months in the Mojave. And there's the Vault 33 gate. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Vault life is still going on as normal.
There's one person that's in this movie that really got me hyped up.
Television
We haven't seen
series.
it yet, but we will. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh. And then, of course, this was, the ghouls basically still, telling her, hey, look, we're going to Vegas, and you're still a softie. So you need to just toughen up a little bit more. You need to trust me, so there is still very much an uneasy alliance. It's not a friendship yet. So what is exactly your plan when you find your daddy? And she says, I'm going to bring him to justice. And he's just like, justice out here? Sure, justice in the wasteland, because that's a thing. And then, of course, we have
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan is her father.
Oh,
My
man.
Hollywood crush.
He looks so good for his age, man.
Yes.
He looks like he's still he looks like only 20 years older than he was in Twin Peaks 40 years ago.
Just another one of these Hollywood vampires, folks.
He was my first Hollywood crush. I saw him in Dune, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was just a kid.
Blue Velvet, man. Dude, yeah, if I was gay, I'd be all over Kyle MacLachlan. If.
Mm-hmm.
I hear X being pressed out.
Hetero all the way.
So, as you can see here,
I've never even seen one up close.
got the refugees out here. Story has it used to be those things long ago. And of course, the cool thing about the Fallout show is it is really outside of the the tutorial map, the prequel, the character creation in Fallout 4. This is the most that we've seen of pre-war life, and that's the biggest draw of the show is pre-war life. Seeing who Cooper Howard was. Because I say he's the Ghoul because everybody knows him as the Ghoul. But if I were to ever meet him and I knew he was Cooper Howard, I would call him Cooper Howard because, he holds on to his name. He just doesn't share it. And Cooper didn't do anything wrong. It's like Magnus from Warhammer 40K. The Ghoul did nothing wrong. So he says, I've kept myself alive for one reason. And that is to find my family. So, he did protect his daughter in season 1 when the bombs went off. He was seen riding off with his daughter on horseback. They were up in the Hollywood Hills, and the detonations happened down in the city below. So they did have a little leeway to get away. So what I'm gathering from this is that his daughter survived, and by proxy, her great-granddaughter, grandson is probably still alive because it's been 200 years. So he too is looking for his family.
I know that's not all. I know that's not all prosthetic work, but it looks really good.
It's a fantastic makeup job. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Credit to things are looking great in this. I particularly liked the power armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That T65 looks fucking cherry.
Yeah, this whole trailer got me really pumped up for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything.
Now, what we see here is not just the Pridwin. We see a fleet of Brotherhood airships.
A pack of them.
Fleet.
Wow, they have scaled up.
And then we got some more clips from Vault Life. It looks like the married couple got together, and now we see here some pre-war tech, and of course Kyle MacLachlan's character is getting dressed up in pre-war because he is in New Vegas. He's hanging out with Mr. House, as you'll see a little bit later on here.
Who's Mr. House?
Mr. House is Mr.
I
House.
don't know anything about this.
Mr. House is Howard Stark, but evil.
Oh, okay.
Well, pragmatic. I wouldn't necessarily call him evil. I'm on Team House.
I mean, he's not evil, but he's definitely ambitious, and he has a plan that he wants to see through simply because he knows that if it does come to fruition, that because his ultimate goal is to leave the planet. What he want if you side with Mr. House in New Vegas, he will eventually open up to you. And he said, in 50 years, we will have cleaned up the atmosphere around New Vegas. In 100 years, we will be colonizing Mars. He wants to turn mankind into a spacefaring species and leave the irradiated ball that they ruined.
Yes, but there's certainly human presence there, and certainly it seems better than, everything the New California Republic is doing.
Well, the NCR is just making the same mistakes that America did before the bombs hit.
Yeah.
Long live the Enclave, ladies.
The Enclave is just the NCR 9-11. Come on now.
It was the Enclave's original plan to ditch the planet as well. It just, they did a really crap job of it.
They did a really, really crap job of it because they lost their contact with MIT in Connecticut and everything went to shit. But I digress. And there is our Elder Maxon. So what we have gotten here is Elder Maxon has come with the Pridwin from the Commonwealth to join the fleet of other airships over.
That's not the Fire Master from Ghostbusters?
Yeah. So now for those of you who know about the Modern Brotherhood, now the Modern Brotherhood is a bit more enclave-ish with their executions. Whereas the original mission statement of the Brotherhood was just to hoard technology, kind of like the Mechanicus do in Warhammer 40k, so that people can't hurt themselves with it. Whereas Maxon's branch of the Brotherhood is very much a purist faction, where humanity must be sovereign, humanity must trust their lives with the Brotherhood and their technology, and the mutant and any other form of what could be considered sapient life is to be abhorred and eliminated.
Yes, this is why I've made a point of sparing Brotherhood in my playthroughs, but cannot side with them anymore.
Yeah. And the Brotherhood Outcasts is in the Commonwealth, not in the Commonwealth, but in the Capital Wasteland, are the last strain of Brotherhood missionaries that were following the rules. Elder Lyons was soft and wanted to help people, and in turn, his squire, his grandson, grew up to be one of the biggest tyrants on the East Coast, notwithstanding.
I do think it was an odd casting choice, though.
Yeah, it was an odd casting choice, but the Securetrons look great. The one thing that I will say about this show is the props in it. The props in it, the set design is so accurate and so awesome. Yeah. It is so fucking awesome. That is the most accurate part of this whole thing.
I love those robots.
We got feral ghouls. And there is, of course, our Robert Edwin House. So what I'm gathering, now what I'm gathering based on this is basically the canonical ending for Fallout New Vegas has to be the house always wins. It's not the S-Man quest. It's you work with Mr. House as the couriers all the way through to the end.
Aha, I win.
Mm-hmm. Lucy with a power fist. I didn't think she was a melee build, but there we go.
I think it might be a shotgun fist, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's another odd casting choice.
Yes. Yes.
Are they going to visit Big MT? Because if so,
I
love the empty. Oh my god. Well, if it's the house ending, then most likely the only survivor of the research team of the empty would be Mobius, in my opinion. I don't think
I spared them all. I thought they were a worthwhile resource.
Yeah, I would love to. I tried to spare them all too, man, because the think tank was awesome. Look at that panoramic view of the New Vegas skyline and a Lucky 13 right there in the middle, looking sharp, very detailed. And of course,
I might have been swayed by the floaty Asian brain.
Yes. And then, and so there's dog meat, and apparently we've picked up a mutant. So we got Titus and his T-45, and here's his fight with the Deathclaw. Hopefully they are deadly because they are out in the desert and they're not pushovers like they were in the Commonwealth. So this is Vegas, huh? I'd ask why my dad ran into a den of monsters, but you'd probably just tell me to shut the fudge up. She says fudge. And he's just like bitch.
Yeah, I was wondering if
I did Nuka-Cola promotions in this town. You have no room.
What was that an edit for the trailer, or does she actually say that?
Because she's a vault dweller, so she's again a big softie.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I thought that since this wasn't a Red Band trailer, that they edited that part out. But that's hilarious if that's how she actually.
I think the strengths of this trailer, the biggest strength is its visual accuracy. I think we can all agree on that. And I think the biggest weakness of this trailer is some of the odd casting choices. It's like when I think of leader of Caesar's Legion, the last thing I think of is the main character from the Home Alone franchise.
Well, wasn't Macaulay Culkin in the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
as a
I saw him
legionnaire
for 1
or as the
second.
head legionnaire, and it's like, what an odd casting choice. Just like
Yeah,
that Indian comedian or whatever he is
yeah,
being an elder of the brothers. Like, what an odd casting choice.
I'm
yeah.
going to go ahead and say hi to our good friends out there. We got Gap After Dark, hail to you. Lunar Lucidity, hail to you. And of course, Wes Cagle, hail to you. It's good to see all you guys here
And BOT
hanging out
Chris.
with us tonight.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I greeted Bodie Chris earlier, but it's
okay.
always good to mention him again for a second time. I do like to keep up with everyone. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. We covered a lot of topics. And of course, the last one's always the fun one. So I have incredibly high hopes for season 2 of Fallout.
Well, I was
Incredibly
actually
high
going
hopes.
to ask, is this season 1?
Season 2.
Okay, so there's already been a season 1 out for a
Yes,
while.
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Need to catch up then.
The one
Yes,
thing
sir.
that they did about the casting is everybody who's in the cast, everybody who wrote the show, everybody who directed the show, they are all familiar with Fallout. They are all fans.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Like,
Yes.
it lives up to
Everybody
season
that's
one.
in here they're either familiar with Fallout or they're fans with Fallout or they've played it, you know. So
awesome.
that's the one thing I do like about this show is they're putting their effort in because they actually like what they're
They
doing.
actually care. And see,
Well,
That is auspicious.
Let's put it this way, folks. If this TV show doesn't succeed, right? If the Fallout TV show or streaming show, whatever you want to call it, doesn't succeed, then Fallout doesn't have a future.
Right.
Because we
So
all
they're
know,
gonna
I know that Fallout 76 is a rebuilt game now. Practically, it needed to be.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
that game nearly killed the franchise, and it was symptomatic of everything that went wrong with Bethesda Games Studio. So I think the trailer was perfectly fine. Visually, it was very good. A few odd casting choices from my perspective, but this needs to succeed in the long term, right? We need a season 3. We need a season 4. We need to pad this out to ensure that the Fallout franchise has a future, because Fallout 5 isn't coming out, or whatever they decide to call it, isn't coming out anytime soon, folks.
I'm still mad about 76. I wanted a co-op option, not a pseudo MMO replete with microtransactions.
Yes. I just wanted Starfield.
And speaking of another Fallout fan, we got our good friend Charlie Nuclear hanging out with us today. It's good to see you, sir.
It always annoys people when I tell everyone Bethesda's most financially successful game is Starfield until Elder Scrolls 6 comes along, and then that will be the most financially successful.
True, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. They might try to release Skyrim a few more times yet.
So, Theta, so when are we going to play Fallout together, buddy?
I mean, I'm, once they get the money to download it, I'm ready to play it whenever. This trailer just pumped me up so bad. I mean, all the casting choices in it surprised the hell out of me. Seeing Macaulay Culkin in there, Kyle MacLachlan, it just looks so fun. And I don't know the actor's name, but the guy without the nose, the skull faced guy. He's in a lot of different things.
Howard, yes. Walton Goggins.
Yeah, Walton Goggins. He's awesome. I love the casting choices, and it just makes me so pumped up to learn more about Fallout. And I really hope to get Amazon Prime, and so I can watch season 1 and get caught up, because it got my attention for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this. Looks great.
I think I'm playing Fallout in the near future myself. I'm broken.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This just looks really, really good, and I can't wait to cover it in detail. Definitely we'll be doing an episodic review by review, play by play, just like Alistar is currently doing with Hazbin Hotel Season 2, subsequently to follow Scooby's series of Hazbin Hotel Season 1 on her channel. So, I don't like to do review shows that much, but when it comes to things that I am passionate about and I enjoy, I'm willing to make the exception and subsequently the hit to my algorithm. Scooby, are you stoked for this season? Have you watched season 1? What's your history with Fallout?
Mainly my history remains to the games, but I did see a couple episodes here and there for season 1, and I was impressed and I liked with what I saw. Once again, I'm cautiously optimistic when it comes to season 2. I know I say that a lot, but that's because I'm very, I walk on eggshells for a lot of this stuff. I mean, I was cautiously optimistic for the new Devil May Cry cartoon, and that just pissed me off right there, what they did with that one. So yeah, I hate getting my hopes, I hate getting really pumped up and getting my hopes high, only to be let down. So I'm walking on eggshells with this one. I'm cautiously optimistic because the first season was very good, and when you have a good first season, it's kind of hard to top the first one, because as each season goes by, the audience expects you to do better than the previous season. They expect you to go out more and more and more and more, and I just hope that they don't try to do that with this to the point where it looks bad.
Absolutely. I think your hesitance is very much merited, given the conditioning that we all are suffering from. Director, let's bring it on home before we get the chat opinion and start wrapping this up in a nice, neat little bow.
Okay, well, I have to say, everything I've seen from what you've shown me, and I haven't been paying much attention to the series until now, the aesthetics alone warrant much suspension of disbelief, even with the curious casting choices. Although, personally, I'm glad to see Mr. Culkin still getting work. I know that after this, I think I'm going to have to reinstall Fallout and possibly New Vegas. It's made me very nostalgic in a very short span of time.
It is definitely.
Yeah, New Vegas was fun.
Stoking the fire. Like I said, we try to do a new fun segment every week. We reacted to AI slop last week, and the week before that, we did a bit of fake news where we read an article from an online tabloid and pretended it was real. So who knows what we will have coming down the pipeline for StarkCast Mk20. We do not have any more super chats or mega chats that have crept in, but let's go ahead and see what you guys have to say before we start winding this bad boy down. Let's see here, ladies and germs. All right. It's good to see you, Gap After Dark. Hopefully life is treating you well. Let's see here. I don't remember for sure, but I think it was a legal mindset who mentioned it, but I don't remember which video. Okay, that's not relevant. The Fallout show ruined Fallout for me. So many retcons. Actually, there wasn't as many retcons as you think. The biggest crime that they did was obviously destroying the hub outright. It's debatable as to who dropped the bombs first. There was the ongoing unspoken theory of the Zetans being responsible for causing our planet to go into nuclear war. But that is left up to conjecture. You see, and Charlie Nuclear is like, yes, Zetans. They instigated it for the sake of harvesting the ideal specimens with radiation so that they could, inhabit worlds with high rad levels and warmer climates. Lord Dragneil says, I am off to sleep. Good night, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your night, Lord Dragneil. And thank you for hanging out. And hail, Kronos. Yes, you are late, but that is why God invented the rewind, sir. As soon as this stream ends, refresh it, leave a comment. We are rating of the great stream tonight. He's going to be doing a little trivia. So if you want to go that way, you certainly can. We will also be at 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central, start opening up the Thanksgiving episode of the Cotton Council. I have one more venue that I'm going to hit up tonight, at least for an hour with Al, before I have to finish early because that I will have sat in front of the screen for too damn long for one day, and I want to go play cards and have a few drinks with my friends and call it a good rest of the night. Let's see here. Who else?
Me and Steven are having a little theory discussion about Kevin McAllister being locked in a vault, and the nuclear bandits try to come down there to get him and set up traps and everything.
I don't know if Macaulay Culkin can handle a whole group of raiders, but we'll see. That would be a fun concept.
No, just the nuclear, the wet, because they were the wet bandits, then they went to the sticky bandits. And
they say capitalism bad.
Bandits.
No, what they did with America was bad. You got to remember, the America in the Fallout universe is a exaggerated facsimile of Americana. They did not change how America was, because America was always an excessive corporate ran conglomerate empire pre-war. No. That's always been the case.
Well, we also have to understand the influence of the Enclave also existed pre-war.
The Enclave was every, random, shady senator or House representative, president, vice president, oligarch, company owner, you name it. They had their name on the dockets for the Enclave. So, no. The America from pre-war is not like the America today. It is an exaggerated to cartoonish levels of America as a lot of people see it. It's not. I get where you're coming from. I understand your point of view, but we agree on a lot of things. But on this one, we will have to disagree. And that's going to go ahead and cap this bad boy off on a nice, neat little bow. And I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart and the heart of my bottom. You are the reason why these shows work so well. You guys here on the panel, you guys here in the chat, and it's been an absolute gem as always. But of course, before I get too sentimental, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go ahead and start playing this as we start doing our plugs. This has been Mark 20 of the StarkCast, ladies and gentlemen. And it's been an honor and a pleasure to be your news anchors for this evening. We're going to go ahead and go around the horn and start talking about our future exploits, starting with the dignified cartoon gentleman. Do me a super solid and plug for about 2 minutes. I got to pee.
Sure. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching this episode of StarkCast. As for me, I am the dignified cartoon gentleman. I explore why things go wrong in entertainment, pop culture, and the wider gaming landscape. You can check me out at the dignified cartoon gentleman. Hopefully the links are in the description down below. I am Digny for short, because some folks can't really say my name fully, especially when they're blackout drunk. But I appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you to Theta for being here, Scooby, the director, and of course for Stark hosting today's show. As for videos, well, expect more videos, expect more shows, and expect more videos from said shows. The next network show will be tomorrow. We'll be debuting a Sunday show hosted by Lord Triton and his crazy crew of content creators. I'm expecting it to be a train wreck, but hopefully it'll be an entertaining train wreck. And we just continue. Every network show has a day of its own. This one is the Saturday, and hopefully it continues. So thank you very much for having me, Tony, and subscribe to me.
Subscribe to everybody here on this wonderful panel. And yes, I do hold myself to standards because I don't want to be in the cavalcade of train wrecks. Heck, I want my train to fly like in Back to the Future 3. Speaking of success and going off the rails in a fashion that is excitable and showboaty, we got number 1, Theta of the Grid. You have something coming up, don't you? What are you doing after this?
Ooh, yeah, you think you're the number 1 nerd, brother? Well, you better come to my stream in about an hour. We're going to be doing a trivia stream for all of you nerds, geeks, and all you other people out there. they'll want to come and do a trivia gauntlet for 50 questions so brutal. They'll make the Matrix look like a PowerPoint tutorial. So if you like sci-fi, horror, DC, 80s, fantasy, fever dreams, all sorts of different things, and you think you got what it takes to come and show what you got, come to my stream in about an hour. We're going to be doing a trivia gauntlet, and whoever has the highest point gets some, gets the rights to say that you are the king geek of the Theta of the Grid stream. So we'll be doing that in about an hour. So the link will be, I will put it in the chat. But then also tomorrow night, we're going to be doing Cosmic Theta Theater 2117 as usual, as always, where we're going to be riffing like we do with Mystery Science Theater 3000 and riff tracks, all the good stuff. We're going to have a great time riffing, one-liners, having fun. So come over there. I don't know what movie we're going to do. I have 3 picked out right now. I haven't settled on one yet, but come and do that as well. So it would be a honor if you would come over there, give it a like, share it around, and just come and have a good time.
Fantastic, Theta. It's good to have you here, number one. We need to work out your technical difficulties for the sake of production quality, but other than that, you've always been by my side, and I love you, brother. Scooby! What you got coming up, hon?
Well, due to today's technical difficulties for YouTube on Duckyard, I will be posting very shortly, right after this. I will be uploading today's podcast on YouTube. So please be sure to check that out as soon as I upload it. I would really appreciate it, and like the stream if you can. Also comment on it. Also, next Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern, I will have Zach's on Stevie's podcast, so be sure to come check it out. Also, because of the amount of podcast, which I have to thank Tony for being a dear and being a guest, I am going to do a Steve Pups Arcade later tonight. So if you want to see me play some games, maybe rage out, I don't know, it depends on the game you play, be sure to swing by. I will put the time up in Twitter like I always do, and I will put the time up on YouTube when I'm about to stream. So please check me out then, and like, subscribe, follow, please, would really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good to have you on the team, Scooby. And of course, our special guest, direct from Arcatur Labs. It's none other than our good friend, the director. It is an honor and a pleasure, and we still have collaborative things that we must do, you and I. I have not forgotten.
I look forward to it.
What have you got
And
coming
thank you
up,
for having me
sir?
on. Oh, yes. Well, number one, in about an hour, I intend to be unconscious. But aside of that, every week I do have several streams. Every Friday is The Experiment. If you don't catch it live, you're probably not going to catch it all, as all records self-destruct. Sunday, I go through SCP files. And if you should happen to have time to burn late on a Tuesday, I am on the cast of the Side Quest on the Guild channel, playing Arcturus Sarthas, who I hate him so much. Hate him! That's what makes the character entertaining.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you are always so fun to be around, my friend. Can't wait to do more work. Of course, what have I got coming up? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing a special makeup episode for Agent Pepsi 1 with Robert Wright tomorrow afternoon, followed with becoming the next expert of noise, the resident expert of noise on In Other News with Sammy Threepeat, a news show very much like this one, albeit a bit more chaotic because Sammy is a little bit more loose and I am a little bit more tight. Don't look too deep into that, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, also consider what we might have coming down the pipeline with our Alistair Dad joke shorts, as well as other entertainment venues. Stark's Thursday Matinee, the variety show before the variety show. Yes, sirree, Bob. Coming back with a vengeance. Trust us, not just with your information, but with your entertainment. This is going to end tonight's episode, and we thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. This has been a fantastic one. Everybody, go ahead and say goodbye. Have a wonderful time.
Bye. Bye.